welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you a super easy chocolate cake. So this cake looks super impressive, but I promise you it's the easiest cake to make. I actually don't even make the cake from scratch. I use box cake, which I usually don't do, but for this cake, it's so easy.
It's a really chocolate cake.
I make 1 box of vanilla cake, and then I split it into 2 either 8-inch or 9-inch rounds, just kind of depending on what you want to do. And then I'll do the exact same thing with the chocolate cake. So you're gonna make a 4-layer cake, and you're gonna add chocolate frosting. So we're gonna spread all these goodies on the cake and then even inside the cake. So what makes this cake special is when you cut into it, M&Ms are gonna come out. All right, everybody, so my cakes have cooled down. That's super important, is that you let them get cold. If you need to hurry up the process, throw them in the refrigerator for maybe like 20 minutes. You're gonna start by putting a small dab of frosting on your cake stand or whatever you're putting it on, just to make sure that it does not slide back and forth. This isn't completely flat right here. So you're kind of gonna wanna make sure when you assemble the cake that you figure out what's gonna be the best way to make it the most sturdy. So this first piece I am gonna put down flat. I'm going to push down my cake. So again, I'm going to take a little bit of frosting, gonna smear it around. I'm going to put my chocolate on top, and I'm gonna smush it down. And we are covering this thing with icing, so it does not really matter if it cracks or if there's gaps right here. We're gonna fill all of that in. I'm going to do a light coat around the outside of my cake with some icing. Pop this in the refrigerator, let this cool off a little bit, and then I'll show you the next step. All right, so I let the cake get cold, then I frosted the rest of it. Now I'm actually just gonna take a paper towel, go around my cake stand, clean up all this chocolate. Now comes the fun part, and that's decorating the actual cake. You're gonna take a glass or a cup or anything that doesn't have a huge diameter. You're gonna set it up in the middle of the cake. Don't be scared. And we're going to twist that in there. Keep on twisting to the bottom. Voila, we have this huge hole inside the cake. Now you can fill this with whatever you want. Basically what's gonna happen is when you cut into that cake later, whatever you have inside is gonna come pouring out with that first cut, which really is what makes this cake so special. So in this case, we are going to use M&Ms. Just going to dump them in there. So you're gonna save a little bit of room at the top because we're gonna take that first layer of cake and we're gonna put it back on top so that it's covered. We're gonna use the icing that we have left over to cover the top. All right guys, this is the final step. So I would actually recommend doing the hole and filling it before you put on the frost. That will just make this look a lot cleaner. Now I'm gonna hide this with all my decorations so it doesn't really matter, but if you're going for a cleaner look, you just fit that top right back on there and then ice over it with your frosting and you're good to go. I have some Kit Kats, I have Snickers, I have Hershey's Kisses, and some malt balls. And this is where you really can do whatever you want. I'm gonna probably start back here. So I like to use the Snickers because when you cut it open, it does look really pretty and it just adds a little bit of dimension to the cake. And again, you know, this does not have to be perfect. You can kind of just go crazy. You could use chocolate chips for this. And I was actually just thinking my niece does not like chocolate, you could totally do this with a either strawberry cake or a vanilla cake that you ice with strawberry frosting and then put strawberries on top, or even make an all white cake and use gummy worms and Sour Patch Kids. I think that that could look really, really cool as well. And when you're doing this, you do want to make sure that you're kind of pushing them down into the cake a little bit just to make sure that they really adhere to the icing. And again, we're putting this in the refrigerator overnight to really give it a chance to set, because the last thing you want is when you get in your car is for all this stuff to come tumbling down. That would be terrible. Alrighty, I'm gonna pop this in the fridge overnight and then we'll take a peek at it tomorrow morning. Okay, so here is the finished cake. I think it turned out great. All the chocolate is nice and set. I ended up actually making a second cake because I wanted to show y'all what it looks like when you cut into it. See how the M&Ms just come pouring out? It's so cool. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up if you did, and feel free to drop any questions in the comments below. Thanks for watching!